10,
Okay.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm Michelle Graves, your host on The Power of Money, and I'm honored to have you as a part of my world in this coming segment. With The Power of Money, as you know, we are interested in three things. First, that you get the necessary education so that you and your family will have the information to do well in these difficult times. The second thing I'm interested in is for you to be empowered to prosper. I want only the best for you, but you can't get that if you don't have the education and then the drive to make it happen. And the final thing, and perhaps the most important thing, is that you be energized. Because life is more than a journey. Life is about living. And so I want you to learn these things and to be empowered and encouraged and energized. I'm Michelle Graves. Now here we go.
And here we go, and welcome to today's segment of The Power of Money with Michelle Graves. I'm delighted to be with you in my capacity as the money lady over the last 40 years. And today I'm going to be talking about following up on my commitment to 2023 being the year of wellness and health. I'm in it like in it. I'm in it. And I'm committed to making sure that you, as my viewing audience, are informed and educated so that you can begin to live a quality of life that defies all of the things that are going around us. And when I say going around us, I live in the city of Cincinnati that is on the Ohio River. Now, the reason I bring this up is because we have had in the last 4 years, I believe 4 tanker explosions, trains flipping, the most recent in East Palestine, which is about an hour drive from here. And we know what happened, or maybe we don't, because you really had to dig to find out which chemicals. There were 5 toxic chemicals that went into that water. Okay? And toxic, meaning they kill things. 45,000 fish died. Did you know that? Did you know that the people immediately had itching and burning from breathing it in? And did you know that the stuff went into the water? Now, I'm saying this because that's just one of 4 accidents that has happened in the great state of Ohio with these trains, and they haven't stopped transporting chemicals. Trains are everywhere. So the fact that it happened here does not mean you're safe. It just means that we're suffering, and suffering we are, because those chemicals, the vinyl chlorides, the butyl acrylites, the ethyl oxaline, these things kill people, okay? And the one that is so horrible is odorless and tasteless. So when they say on the news, the water is fine, I drank some, I said, why don't you be real? You didn't drink that water. That was a stage set, okay? We know you didn't drink the water. And if you were, why would you? But of greater importance is this again puts the spotlight on how do I put this straight? What's the benefit of you living long if you're sick? If they can't cure you, if they don't know where it came from, if they don't know what you need to do in terms of your diet and lifestyle so that you can live to 80 and not be tore down, broke down, cancer survivor. Really? Really? Okay. So my first move was, and I should know better. So if I should know better, I know you all don't know, but I should know better because my area of specialty is lipids as a scientist. Okay, I had a fascination for skin, period. I love to see healthy, bright skin because skin as the exterior organ reflects everything that's going on inside. It really does. So you can slap all kinds of stuff on the outside, but if your inside is messed up, it's eventually going to manifest on your outside. That is a scientific fact. So having said this, why are so many women obsessed with, excuse me please, why are so many women obsessed with beauty and looking good and doing whatever is necessary to be beautiful and look good? And I can tell you at the grand age of 71, I don't look the way I looked when I was 20 or 30 or 40. And I'm diligent. I mean, that's my specialty. So I tell women, they say, how do you keep your skin like that? And I'm like, I have a lab. And that's what I do. Okay? So I'd better be looking good. But you cannot negate aging. That is a fact of life. But there are certain things that you can do and can modify and can control so that you can really know what self-love, because that's I'm into self-love. Really? Okay. What do you eat? Oh, well, I do this, I do. No, what do you really eat when everybody's not looking? What do you crave? How are you living your life? Do you exercise daily? Do you walk at least 2 miles daily just to get your heart pumping, boom, 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 and get your blood flowing and get your skin alive? Because the skin, again, only reflects what's going on the inside. It's got capillaries underneath the top layer. And believe me, it's going to tell your story one way or the other, okay, along with other parts of your body, not just your face and your neck, which people can see, but the rest of your body as well. A woman or man who's vibrant and healthy is because their lifestyle is vibrant and healthy as a given. That's foundational, okay? Slack off on the bad food, period. You know it's bad. I'm not going to preach to you because at my age, I don't feel like it. Nah, because if you're going to listen, good. If you're not, don't bother me. Go on and get good life insurance. Make sure your kids are situated and your grandkids are situated because you're not going to be around. Okay? That's a fact. That's a given. Okay? So, with that in mind, let's talk about the forbidden subject. Yeah, forbidden. Because people don't like to talk about what they do to keep themselves in place. But I'm kind of telling you, it's like the king with no clothes. We looking, and we know, and the truth is, you better be looking, and you better know for yourself, okay, for yourself. Not because Michelle Graves, the money lady who's now into wellness and health, big time. It's a sidebar. I threw out everything under my sink. I threw out bleach. Why? Because bleach will kill you. Mix it with another well-known chemical known as ammonia, and you've now got mustard gas. Boom. Go to the bathroom where you treat the bath toilet with bleach. I did. And as a scientist, when you urinate, that's ammonia, uric acid, and some. Do you know what ammonia and bleach does? Boom. Mustard gas. I'm like, who wants to blow up in a bathroom? Oh my God. And you know what? We know something's funny because our skin tingles when you sit on the toilet. Your skin tingles. You're like, I'm just, no, your skin is tingling because of what's going on in the toilet, okay? And it's not good. So I threw out everything, and got totally involved in buying products from a one-stop store that's been around for 36 years. I was introduced to it I was not into the hype. The person that introduced me to it knew it, gave me the scientific data. I read it. I said, oh my God, whether I ever buy from you or not, this is over. I dumped out and then I thought about giving away all of my Tide and my other detergents, because they're banned in New York. You know that. That's not secret. But I had spent so much money buying them because they were I didn't know they were dumping, but the prices were so good I just bought I don't even know, 100 of those things. And I said, I'll never be out of this detergent. And then I read the ingredients, which I know, but I didn't connect. Why? Because I was not aware and I was not awake. So again, I thought about donating them to family members and to friends and to hospitals who would want all these brand new packets, brand new bottles, brand new bleach, and a friend of mine said, how could you in good conscience do this? How? And I said, well, I'm giving it to them. I'm not trying. They said, but it kills people. And I'm like, oh, bam, you are so right. I am such a wretch. These things, do you not know to dispose of those things you have to pay a biohazard company? Because your regular dumping truck will not pick them up. And you know why? Because one of their dumpsters blew up. Yeah, that stuff got too hot and boom. Now what do you think it's doing to you, since that same ingredients are used for your toothpaste and people want to know why their teeth are rotting out? Well, let me just suggest to you that it's a little bit more to it than just brushing your teeth with this toxic chemical every day. It's about, again, the purpose of the chemical is to clean, and that means stripping your enamel. Oh, no. Yeah. Out with the toothpaste. Okay? That was my aware moment that, oh no, I'm going to have to be a lot more intentional and diligent, and I'm going to begin the process of researching like a mad hatter. I used to do all of this actively maybe a decade ago, but you know, you get caught up in so much and you don't stay current on stuff and you just get into the habit. I understand why seniors are not open to change. Just get into the habit. Don't rock my world. What? I'm going to do this. Don't try to change me. Don't try to change me. I'm not changing. I don't care if it does cause lung disease. Until it is my lungs that are diseased, I know the rationale. I'm telling you, I understand. Talked to a friend yesterday and she said, Michelle, I know you're right. I know you're right, but I'm just not willing to give it up. And I told her, what? You know, I told you this? And I provided you with data? And you say, I've done it all my life. I guess I won't sit on the toilet as much. What? Hey, there's an old saying. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Now, where did that come from? Because sometimes it's like that. But the information I'm going to give you today, hopefully, will help you to take a hard look at your awareness. And then if you're really awake, you're going to be doing what I did, which is all this stuff's got to go. And I got to make some moves. I got to make some moves now. And I want to see my grandkids grow up. I don't want to have lung disease and cancer and melanoma and all these horrible things that are a result of using toxic chemicals. The one chemical that is floating down the Ohio River, headed toward Mississippi, and is infiltrating the ground soil and everything. While they continue to say, we tested, and nothing's showing. Nothing is going to show because it's odorless, it's tasteless, and it breaks down in liquid. You're not going to find it. What they don't tell you is that stuff sticks to your organs when you drink it. Yeah, that's not funny, and that's not fake news. You can research it for yourself and read it because it's science. All this stuff is man-made. It's not a normal thing in nature. It uses petrolatum, which is dinosaur fat. Didn't the Tyrannosaurus Rex get us this time? Yes, it did. Are we trying to do something to bring it back to life? You're crazy. I don't think so. If it comes back to life, it's going to chew everybody up because we're living off of its broken down family members. Oh my God. Horrible. Anyway, enough on that. My point is on this show, for this segment, I'm not going to beat you down, but I am going to tell you, particularly women, you're going to have to do a reassessment of what beauty is and come to the reality that beauty is really an inside job that manifests on the outside. If you are eating food that is highly processed, and you and I know you don't feel like fixing macaroni from scratch, so you go to the store brand. I got that. You got kids, you don't have time, and you give them that. And one of the ingredients is called a plasticizer. What is a plasticizer? Fake cheese that is not from a cow. That helps with the taste and flavor. Oh, okay. What is an emulsifier? It's a fake chemical that binds all of that contraption in a box together that makes it look and feel real solid, but it does not exist in real life. It exists in a laboratory, in a food laboratory. And you like it because, man, oh man, does that cheese ever bind up? Yes, it has a solidifier that helps it to go into a solid state. Yummy, yummy for the tummy. Really? Your body is like, what the heck is this? Rule number 1, and remember it. Your body is a carbon-based entity, okay? It does not recognize synthetic anything. It does not. It only recognizes what it is. And if you put synthetic things in you or on you, your body says, the cells say to each other, what is that? And they put it in a box, mainly around your midriff. That's how you know if people are eating right. Because if their midriff is big and bulky, guess what? Cells been working overtime. Overtime, trying to figure out, what is that? Where do I need to store that? Yeah. Rule number 2, you are what you eat. So, you cannot mask away or play away the obvious. When I see people with sick-looking skin, I will tell you that is a sick-looking body. On the inside, the cells are crying out, would somebody feed me nutrients that I can metabolize, that will allow my family members down here in me? I mean, there's 31 trillion cells, there's galaxies. We look at the stars, we better look at ourselves on the inside, because there's another galaxy right inside of us that live and thrive and do all the above. And if they get sick, like the galaxies up there, they will die. And then guess what? You're next. Enough of them die, and don't replenish and won't replenish, then you're next. Okay? You're next. You are next. Now, before you say, but what about children? What about babies? Well, the mother passes on her stuff directly through the placenta to the child. Okay? There you go. There you go. Okay? Yeah, Mama did it. Mama did it. Yeah, she did. She did. She did it. Okay? So I'm saying all these things as fundamentals so that we can move forward on the same communication mode, because I'm trying to communicate information that will prompt you to be aware and then to be awake so that you will see and understand. Again, I can tell you, based on 40 plus years of knowing skin and skin science, who is healthy and who is not. It's all on your face, okay? I can tell you if you are not doing well with radiation from the sun, which is 24/7 and hits your facial areas, because you will begin to have bags and sagging. Well, why don't you come out the sun? Or why have you been in the sun for most of your life without head protection or something to keep your face protected? Okay, I tell people, I may be a black woman, but black people get skin cancer too, because radiation does not discriminate. Isn't that something? Radiation doesn't. It's an equal opportunity chemical. You get it if you're out there long enough. And no, genetically, there is less melanoma in African descent people because of melanin, which is again, a chemical, a naturally occurring chemical in our skin that protects us and our organs from excessive heat. Since our place of origin was Africa, which is 120 degrees in so many parts, and sun all the time. So man simply was designed and developed to have darker skin to protect him or her from the sun. For those of you who are from fairer countries like England and Norway and Sweden, in your family's history, or Russia, the sun is not your friend, and it's not a problem because you don't get a lot of it. But when you shift into, I just love the sun, and you laying out in Florida, or you laying out in Australia, which you should never have been to anyway. You should have left it to the Aborigines and to the indigenous people there, because they are brown people. They evolved that way, not white people who are trying to get that way. But if you had stayed put, you'd be okay. But melanoma is gone crazy because of radiation that's coming from the sun in an ozone layer that doesn't exist. So there's no protection. And yeah, you better do whatever you need to do. The easiest thing is don't be outside in the sun, and try to keep your sun involvement minimal, and wear hats and coverings to protect you. There's nothing wrong with you wearing a face covering to protect your face if you're working in the sun. That's free advice. I do it. So what makes you so different? I garden, but I'm not going to deal with the sun because the sun is brutal and it's unfair. It is so unfair, okay? And people say, well, how do I avoid it? I just told you. I just told you. You have to be careful, and you have to be intentional for yourself, unless you want to deal with skin cancer or melanoma and all the things that go along with it from your lifestyle. And I refute all of the drug pushers that say, well, you know, that's just a part of life. Is cancer a part of a healthy life? Maybe that should be the question. Is cancer a part of a healthy life? Should you prepare for it? Should you buy cancer insurance if you're in an area of the country that have very high incidence of cancer, like where I live in Cincinnati, Ohio? You can type it and read it. Don't say I'm bad-mouthing what's documented. Should you buy cancer insurance? Should you be careful? You better be careful. You better be intentional. And if you really want to do self-love, you need to be careful about what you're taking in the form of water and other things, okay? I'm just saying, this is a free country, and as I said at the beginning, I'm not into making anybody, particularly those of us that are older, do anything that you don't want to do. All I will suggest to you is you make sure you have good life insurance so that somebody does not have to pay to put you in the grave. Make sure you have good legacy planning since you're not going to get to see your grandchildren into a ripe old age. Promise you, I'm not talking mean, I'm talking truth. If you don't want to govern yourselves in a way that says, I love myself because I eat properly, I get enough sleep, minimum of 8 hours, plus naps. Yeah, did you know that? As you grow older, your body needs more. It does. So here you go. Well, I don't need a lot of sleep. Yes, you do, or else you're going to have a heart attack or a stroke. That's a fact. Your body has to regroup, and it needs sleep, deep sleep. So when grandma goes to sleep at 7:30 and says, don't wake me, it's not because she's old, it's because she's smart. And she recognizes that burning the clock all hours of the night is only going to get you an early grave. It is. That's why sleep apnea is so serious. You can't have interruptions while you're sleeping. Your brain is house cleaning. House cleaning. Now, for those of you that are suffering from long haulers disease from COVID, you know brain fog has caused problems. It's not the brain, it's the disease. And you're going to have to weather it because scientists don't know enough about what it did to the neurons in the brain. Okay, they don't know what happened. And that's a different story. But for everybody else, you need to be getting your sleep, uninterrupted sleep, for at least 8 hours. You're not pampering yourself, you're taking care of yourself. So that's fundamental. You want to get your sleep, you want to get exercise. Walk. You don't have to walk fast, just walk. Every day, 2 miles. Do it in a neighborhood. Do it in a mall. Do it wherever you need to do to get your circulation going and your breathing and your heart rate up, okay? That will help immensely. It'll also help you with your digestion because many people suffer from bowel irritation and all kinds, because you're not moving your body. You sit there all day and look at TV and eat, and then you eat foods that are chemically formulated to taste good, and that's just too much for the body, okay? The body is amazing. It will fight a fight. It will fight a fight. My goodness. The cells will communicate, the lymph nodes, the white cell, they will fight a fight. But they can be overwhelmed with the trash. They can. They may not want to. But there it is. Like I said, they have little compartments. They store that stuff they can't identify into these compartments that consist of your midriff, all these little storage places, which is, I don't know what it is. Maybe you do. And plop, there it goes. I'm serious. It's called fat, okay, which is unrecognizable junk. So these are fundamental things you have to do for yourself. Has nothing to do with beauty. My whole thing is inside out. If you're a beautiful soul, then you will live a beautiful life. If you eat properly, if you have a positive, have settled the matter on so many areas of your life. Have you forgiven yourself? Have you forgiven others? Have you embraced the beauty of living at this time in history? Despite all of the horrendous things that are happening, you're still alive. And if you are happy in your soul, the world's going to know it because you can't fake it. You're going to show it. But if you're dissatisfied, if you have a spirit of heaviness, unforgiveness, meanness, jealousy, envy, oh, why don't I have what they have? I got news for all of you. I have been a very wealthy woman, And I have been a broker than a broke woman. And you know what? The only difference is that if you're wealthy, you can pay a shrink. I'm kidding. If you're wealthy, you can pay a shrink to figure it out. Stuff doesn't mean much the older you get because we live in a system where it's always available. You always get more stuff. You always get more furniture. You always get another car, new car, old car. Stuff does not give satisfaction to the inner man, the person you really are. Your titles and degrees and accomplishments are wonderful, but they don't satisfy the longing of the inner man to be healthy, to be whole, and to be at peace with everybody, including the God that created you. That's not going to happen if you are addicted to dying. And why do I say addicted? Because that is a learned behavior. If the body wants to live, but you want out, that is going to be a conflict, and one of you is going to win. Okay? One of you is going to win. As hard as they might fight, one of you is going to win. You never got along well with your family. You can't apologize because I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, live with that. When you have nobody in your old age, when all you have are regrets. This all has to deal with aging. You don't have anybody that visits you because they don't like you. Okay? You don't have anybody that cares about you because they don't like you or they don't want to. Or you have not learned to pour out of yourself into other people so that you can experience the joy that comes from giving rather than receiving. Oh, there's a lot of people out here that are wrinkly and aging. And you know what? You should be. Because there's nothing on the inside to keep you vibrant and alive. So you begin to look this way. So I wanted to deal first with beauty as a concept and then beauty as a reality. Okay? I am a beautiful woman on the inside. No doubt. No doubt. I love people. I love humanity. I love children. I love my maker. I'm not ashamed about it. I do. I love people. So I know I'm in sync with my body. Okay? Whether they're having a good day or not a good day, I'm still going to love them. Because we are just incredible. Human beings are fascinating. Oh my gosh. And the brain, unbelievable. That's why I'm sick about Alzheimer. I'm sick about Alzheimer because of what it does to the brain. But beautiful on the inside. You should be. If you're not, make a change. I mean, 24 hours in a day. 8 hours you got to have for sleep. And you still got time left over. Make a change. Make a decision that instead of frowning, you're going to smile. Make a decision that rather than being mean, you're going to be friendly. Okay? Just make a decision. Did I say it was easy? Nah, it's not easy. Because a lot of stuff you have to be mean about. But all it's going to do is show on your face. That's the reason when you get in your 60s and above, you start looking bad. You start looking worn because you are worn. So why do you have to wear it on your face? Because the face is simply a mirror of what's going on in your brain and on the inside. Okay? If you've lived in miserable relationships, it's going to show on your face when you're older. If you've had just awful, awful life stories and have not laid down the axe and just say, I quit, I agree with everybody, I'm happy as a bug in a rug. That's the truth. And I'm not trying to be light about this, but when I see people who are dead at 60 and done at 70, then I say there's a problem here. Okay, they can't make you look good enough in a mortuary embalming room when you're full of wrinkles and sorrow. That's locked on your face. So I gave you a foundation, which is beauty in, is beauty out. Now I'm going to take the time to go through why you need to be very, very careful about what you're putting on your face, okay? I'm just telling you the way I see it. And I'm not cutting any corners. I'm going to take the time and I'm going to go through this, and I probably will do another show because it's so much. You thought detergents and teeth were bad. You need to know that's nothing to compare with what we do to our bodies on the outside, and then want to comment and complain because I don't look any better, okay? And I sit down when I talk to people, and I have over the years, about what do you need to do different. And I start with the first thing on the outside. On the outside, your skin gets very dry. And dry skin opens up portals on your body, meaning it cracks, and cracked skin is a portal for bacteria. Yeah, those invisible little critters that cause havoc. Moisturized skin is imperative for healthy skin because you want it to close the cracks. You want it to look like it's nice and smooth, which is no cracks. Particularly, believe it or not, around your nails. The cuticles are portals for bacteria. Did you know that? And if you have dry, cracked skin and skin that's bleeding, that's an invitation. That's an invitation to all kinds of negative bacteria. There's positive, negative. There's bad bacteria, as well as fungus, which I won't even talk about. I really won't. Fungus is a problem. But it can all be avoided by keeping your skin soft and moisturized. Now, manufacturers have done focus groups. This is not new, going back to the 30s and the 20s, women and their beauty cream and all that. And again, with the notion that if you have soft skin, which is skin that is not got cracks, you're going to look better. Well, you're always going to look better if your skin's not cracked. That's a fact. But it depends upon what you're putting on your skin that will have an impact. And I want to speak to the first things first. Most people in the day, and even today, if you look on the back of the box, you'll see two ingredients right up front. Right up front. You will see water, aqua, A-Q-U-A. Anytime you have aqua in a formula, you have to have synthetic products to keep bacteria from multiplying in the formula. Why? Because water is a bacteria magnet. Real, for real. We're full of bacteria. Too much bad bacteria, and you're going to get sick. Okay? Not enough good bacteria, and you're going to get sicker. There's no difference when you go to get these products. Look at the first two ingredients. That will tell you if you need to look further or not. If the first ingredient is water, I've already told you, you've got to have synthetic chemicals to kill the possibility of the bacteria multiplying in your in the lotion. Manufacturers do not want you suing them because your product is green. The green is from, voila, we're alive. You're like, what the heck? Right. They put this stuff in to keep the bacteria from multiplying and also to give a nice smooth sensation. Okay? Oil will do that. Yeah, oil, plant-based oil, as well as synthetically created oil, which brings me to the subject of the most popular synthetic created oil, which is ingredient number 2, which goes under the name petroleum. We call it petrolatum, but it's petroleum. What the heck is petroleum? You didn't grow up with petroleum jelly known as Vaseline. Let me give you the history. Petroleum jelly is a residual from oil. I mean, the kind you put in your car, okay, to pump fill your gas. When you go into any of the oil fields, and if you haven't, boy, oh boy, thank God, it smells like something rotting. Dinosaur fat, yeah, it smells nasty. Comes up from the earth, and this grimy, gooey, gunky stuff has to be refined so that you can use it to drive your cars. I mean, real bright thinking, whoever came up with petroleum, oil-based, to drive a car. But the residual from petroleum, okay, from the environment, is petrolatum. And its goal is to block moisture from going into the skin, which they say causes dryness and cracking. So this is the big thing. Put it on, it shines, it looks good, and then you think it actually goes into your skin. No, it doesn't. It evaporates. Ha! Yes, it evaporates. Okay? Remember, your primary ingredient is water? Then you put petrolatum on top of the water to keep your skin moisturized, to lock in that water. That's bogus. That's so bogus. None of that stuff's going in your skin. Because remember what I told you at the beginning? Your body only likes what looks like it. Okay? Period. Not the residual from an oil gusher. But they had to do something because all of these millions and billions and trillions of gallons of oil had this gunky clear stuff as a residual. And they packaged it and they promoted it through brand marketing. And now you slather that stuff on. Oh, I gotta protect my hands. Gotta protect your hands. Wear gloves. Okay? Wear gloves. Cotton gloves. Not vinyl. Okay? Because vinyl is a derivative of petrolatum. Yeah. Scientists were gung-ho, working like beavers, coming up with other uses for this gunky stuff. And they were pretty successful. The unfortunate thing is that a petroleum product, which is what petrolatum is, it can be contaminated and usually is with what's known as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. They're known as PAHs. And studies have now shown that when your skin is in contact over extended periods of time with this product, it's associated with cancer. So you're just slathering yourself, oh my God, my face, my hair. On this basis, the European Union, I didn't say the US, because we're the Wild Wild West. Europe is incredibly more civilized. The European Union classifies petrolatum as a carcinogen and restricts its use in cosmetics. They are known to cause skin irritations, allergies, and long-term cancer. Now, we don't have these restrictions over here because you know money rules in our government, money rules in our economic system. So what if they get cancer? Prove it came from us. Prove it. Prove it. You can't prove it. And because we can't prove it, we fight it. Petrolatum is a bad bad situation. And I would say to all of you, if you're using it, pitch it in the garbage. Don't do it. If you see it as a base ingredient in these cosmetics and lotions, pitch it in the garbage. Look for skin products, lotions, etc., that have as their base legitimate herbs and oils. There are products out here. I use them. I have them. I make them. Okay? You can as well. There's some phenomenal products for skin. Shea butter is one of them. I'm not talking about this garbage white pasty stuff that's been treated and influxed. I'm talking about unrefined shea butter, which is a product of West Africa. Yeah, I'm not talking about shea butter that's contaminated. There is actually very high quality shea butter out here and doesn't have fungus, doesn't have any contaminants, has been tested, and it's being used for all kinds of skin illnesses and ailments, including skin moisturization. If I might be so direct, I use it and have for 20 years. People say, what is it? I said it's pure, unrefined, untreated shea butter. Where do you get it? I said from a tree that's 3,000 years old. Where do you get it? You get it over there. You bring it over here, and there you go. All right? If you're interested in shea butter, the real stuff, not the crazy, because it can be contaminated, it can be handled improperly, and it's a problem. But it's not just shea butter. There are many other oils that will deal with your skin safely. But again, like I will tell any of you, the minute you put not oil, but the minute you put water in the formulation, you're going to have a problem. Oil and water don't mix. You know this. When you do vinegar and olive oil for your salads, they separate. You got to shake them. Okay? If you look at the bottle of mayonnaise, which has oils and water, you will see all kinds of binders because they got to make them stay together. Because in their natural state, they're not. Okay? So we're down on petrolatum, period. Don't talk to me about it. I just told you. Now, if you want to cover yourself with lard, which is pig fat, if you want to cover yourself with petrolatum, which is dinosaur fat, you go right ahead. But it will not moisturize your skin or keep your skin from breaking. It will not, okay? It will not. Do the research. In fact, if you really want to do the research, I'm going to suggest that you go to David Suzuki, S-U-Z-U-K-I. Just type it in, David Suzuki. Phenomenal scientist, environmentalist, and researcher. I love that guy. He's got my heart. Or I got his heart. Or we share a heart. But his research is thorough, documented, and great. If you really want to get into it, and you should, research. The evidence is already out here. You'll be like, where have I been? I'll tell you, I don't know where you've been, but don't beat yourself because like I said, I had a whole kitchen sink underneath full of detergents that are known to cause lung cancer, as well as other carcinogens that are banned in the state of New York, soon to be nationally, that are horrible, that tear up your sheets. For real. I'm an Egyptian cotton lover. That's very expensive sheets. Do you know what happens? When you use that stuff over time, it breaks down the fibers and you start having holes in your sheets. Now, if you don't care about money, that's your business. But at the point my sheets were thinning and I was like, what is going on here? Well, because the detergent ingredient sodium lauryl sulfate that is based in most detergents will eat fiber and your teeth too. Look at the ingredient list on these boxes if you can, because some of them they're not required to tell you. Okay, you have to ask the manufacturer to send it to you. But I'm saying to you that that's real life. But like I've said at the beginning of the show, I am aware and I am awake. Don't think so. So petrolatum, beep, out the door. Beep, out the door. Okay, real stuff. The next thing you want to be concerned about as an ingredient in your cosmetics is fragrance. And why do I put that at the top? Because there are over 3,000 chemicals that are used as fragrances, and it's an obvious ingredient in colognes, deodorants, and perfumes. Why do they put it in there? Why do you think they do? They put it in there to mask the chemical. But in putting it in there, many of you have experienced the outcome of fragrance. So now they do fragrance-free, which is a chemical that is in the product that tricks your nose so you don't smell the chemicals. Nah. It's a masking agent. Yeah, how you like that? It masks the odor. So you think it's fragrance-free, but it's not. The health and environmental hazards of fragrances is beyond question. And you know it. I used to sit in church as a kid, and there was a woman that wore a fragrance that set me off. Have you ever been set off with somebody's fragrance that didn't work with you and your lungs, and you were coughing and and fanning, and they'd say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," but they didn't stop using it. And you as a kid, I was like, "Oh, I hate this stuff. I can't stand this stuff. Who thinks it smells good?" Well, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't smell good. And there are a couple of fragrances that are banned in Europe right now. And I can go into that again in my next show, where I will continue on the study of cosmetics. This was just part 1. I'm going to do part 2, but please be aware, any skin irritation you experience from spraying this stuff on, there's a reason, or runny eyes, okay, or your nose is dripping, and you just feel, it's a feeling, and you know what's even worse? There are some fragrances that will cling to you, like, yeah, gotcha. And you'll be walking around smelling like that person. Whoa, no. So you're sneezing, coughing, runny nose, drugs won't help, and the fragrance has attached to you. That's some strong stuff. Watch it, and watch what you buy. There's some wonderful, wonderful herbs that have wonderful fragrances that don't have those issues. But we'll talk about this on my next show, part 2 of cosmetics, what you should know. And in the meantime, I've told you to throw out petroleum, period. Look at your ingredients on the back of the box. If you can't pronounce it, you don't need to be doing it. If you and what you should do is just type it in. Type it in and see what they say about it. They tell you what it is. It's scientists. It's right there. It's up to you to get the information and protect yourself. And remember, beauty starts on the inside and manifests on the outside. And as you love and you release yourself to the joy of life, you will find yourself an incredibly happy and satisfied person. Ask me how I know. I'm Michelle Graves, and thank you for being a part of today's session on the Power of Money Cosmetics. Thank you.